Okay, so this is my last video on it, but literally this entire debate goes down to people trying to have their cake and eat it too. It just doesn't make any sense. One of the major things I've seen about people trying to debunk what I'm saying is that they obviously are using Zeno's paradox. Obviously, Zeno's paradox is relevant to how Gojo's ability works because his ability is Zeno's paradox. The problem with that is that they also will use Zeno's paradox while actively trying to denote that Planck links exist. And that's extremely disingenuous because they're saying that I can't apply real-world physics, which are relevant to how Thragg flies, but they can apply Zeno's paradox, which is a real-world philosophy. They literally have scans where they talk about Planck length, and Planck length is extremely important to the size of the wormhole teleportation that they use to fly. And just as the scan itself even mentions, Planck lengths are literally the smallest definable unit of space, and it is indivisible by Zeno's paradox, and this is well cited. I will even show my sources in a second. And it is at a scale where space and time break down. Let me repeat that. Space and time break down. And it's almost like Gojo's ability is spatial manipulation, and their movements are at a point where space and time break down. So how in the world would a spatial ability like affect something that's moving at a place where it's irrelevant? The very notion of it being teleportation just actively disprove most of their points, especially since a lot of their arguments hinge on the fact that it's not actually teleportation. Teleportation, by definition, in fiction, which these are both fictional, we do understand this, right? Instantaneous travel between two locations without crossing the intervening space. You cannot use spatial manipulation on teleportation because teleportation is going from point A to point B. You can only divide the space between point A and point B, but you cannot divide point A and point B themselves. By the definition of how Gojo fans try to say that Gojo negates teleportation, he would be moving point A and point B closer, but that's not what he does. And also, the greatest thing of all time is not only when they deny scans, but also when they do stuff like misrepresent my points, like the black hole one where I compare them, because a black hole and infinity are both forms of spatial manipulation, like where one compresses space and the other one stretches or divides it. The most interesting thing that I keep on seeing is people keep mentioning these people to me to debunk me. But these people, first off, let's just talk about the fact that we have an AI problem, all right? Whatever is going on in the Invincible and Jujutsu Kaisen fanbase, y'all have way too many people using AI to win their arguments. But also in general, none of these people showed any proof of their claims. At least I have enough respect for you guys as my audience to give you guys evidence of what I'm saying. These people are going off the whim, but the fact that they are saying an argument that someone else wants to hear, realistically, people just gravitate towards them and say, oh, yeah, no, this guy is correct. And then they will deny any other form of actual evidence. I've shown you evidence that Planck lengths cannot be divided by infinity, and I even cited sources. I've shown images of scans talking about how they teleport. Someone is going to try denying that. I can do anything to prove my argument, but the real answer that you're looking for is that you don't want my argument. And that does not matter. The very fact that I made this video into a video is because people keep trying to use AI to debunk me. And I find that obnoxious because I'd rather have an actual conversation with someone rather than having to deal with your pet robot. This is exactly what the video is in the format that it's in, because I don't have to deal with someone just taking a bunch of images and then booting them into ChatGPT and then generating an argument, because at least it'll make it a little bit harder. And actually, in general, if I see any ChatGPT or Google AI images, or any messages that are just AI in general, I'm not going to respond to them because I want to interact with you guys who actually have genuine arguments against what I'm saying. To get this back on track so we can end this off, Zeno's paradox literally, and I do mean literally, is a real-world application of something into fiction. Yet, real-world physics are where we draw the line. In fiction in general, you are supposed to assume that they have real-world physics until proven otherwise. Yes, conceptually, you can keep dividing something infinitely if it's a number, but physics have a limit. Keep in mind, Planck lengths are literally well cited to be the counter to infinity. And that alongside the fact that they're teleporting, which is another way to get around the paradox, what are you guys even arguing? Like, I've seen so many disingenuous arguments, and whenever I try commenting on the creators that are trying to debunk me, like, posts, mysteriously, they don't see it, or it just straight up is just gone. And I don't know, man. I'm just saying, hashtag don't sing, but whatever. Okay, is it not fair to say that I'm right in this situation, right? But listen. I'm not even saying that Thragg wins. I'm not even saying who wins. But come on, dude. Not only, it's not even just one way to bypass Zeno's paradox, it's two merged into one, and it's how Thragg flies. I'm not even saying that he wins. Oh my god. Just once again, tell me that I'm not in the right. And before anyone says I'm accusing people of using AI, the three most popular quote-unquote debunks all are AI, and I can show you exactly why in a second. In each of the generated arguments, they keep using something called scare quotes, something that is heavily used by chatbots, especially stuff like ChatGPT. A very easy way to see it, especially, is with the word smart atoms, which is very commonly used with scare quotes. You can hide the M dashes by just deleting them, but people don't really ever notice something like scare quotes, and so they never ever remove them when they're deleting stuff like M dashes. This is a good example of scare quotes being used very consistently throughout this entire argument. Keep in mind, these are the people that you guys put on a pedestal. I don't even know how you guys take these people seriously. Not only do they not show you any proof of any of the claims that they make, but they also are spitting in your face with AI prompts. Oh my god, whatever. Anyways, video over.